Thanks so much.
Nice to see you. I understand you've been at the regional district, so we'll try to be a little bit shorter than their meetings. Adoption of the agenda would be in order.
Second.
All those in favor? Agenda is adopted. We have delegation one this evening. Les Ford is the applicant for the development variance permit for 90 Coburg Road. So you're here if you wish to make a presentation, or perhaps if there's any questions.
Well, you know, I just applied to the delegation just if anybody has any questions. Just,
Okay.
I don't want to waste your time on presentation.
We will be discussing your matter later in the meeting, but if anyone has any questions at this moment, seeing none, then we'll come to your matter here shortly.
It seems a waste of time to.
Well, I'm glad that you're here for that. In case there are questions coming up later, we can certainly ask you. Minutes of meetings. We have the May 4th council meeting minutes for approval.
Move.
On approval, those in favor? Motion is carried. Committee the whole meeting minutes of May 11th for receipt.
Move receipt.
Second.
And all those in favor on receipt? Motion is carried. Recommendations coming out of that committee meeting are that, firstly, that the town of Comox acquire a suitable flag in lieu of installing a rainbow crosswalk.
Move. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion is carried. I understand that the flag is in the process of being acquired already, so great. Moving on then, the fifth phase concession agreement, council approving that for a period of 24 months commencing May 23rd.
Move. Second.
All those in favor? Motion is carried. Great burgers and smokies if you're so inclined.
There you go.
FCM Alberta Fire Appeal, the council approved a donation of $1,000 to the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo to use at its discretion to benefit residents in the aftermath of the devastation caused by wildfire.
Move. Second.
Any discussion?
I'd just like to comment. Oh, sorry.
No, I was voting on it. So.
I had my head down.
I can listen then.
I just understand that staff are going to do a little bit of coordination for us with this approval, along with the donation from our rec center and our fire department. So town of Comox is going to be well represented in that way. So thank you.
All right, great.
And I just wanted to confirm, this is coming out of the public relations for council? Is that right, Doc? Thank
Yes.
you.
Suggested also. I thought it was coming out of Councillor McKinnon's paycheck.
Yeah.
Maybe indirectly. That's
Take his
okay.
own hot dog.
I'll just add on to what Councillor Grant said, is that there are a number of opportunities in the valley for fundraising, and it's just wonderful to see, and encourage people to get involved with those as well.
Indeed. All right, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion is carried. Then we have the minutes of the Mackling Advisory Committee for April 8th and 22nd for receipt.
Move receipt.
Second.
On receipt then, all those in favor? Motion is carried. And CAO, I understand that a report may be forthcoming in the near future.
Yes, that's, I understand there's an interim report on its way that council should be receiving at the meeting very soon.
Okay, great. All right, anything else on that? We'll wait for that report. Then under unfinished business, we have the manager's report for receipt.
Move receipt.
Second.
On receipt then, all those in favor? Motion is carried. Can you give us a quick update on the Marina Boardwalk project?
Speaking with the architect today, they are working with the contractor on pricing, and they've gone back. They've given some redesign issues on the washroom building and the other two buildings. They're looking at to reduce the price of the overall project, and the contractor is giving them some numbers on that, and we hope to get numbers all on a spreadsheet by midweek next week.
Anything else on the manager's report? Seeing none, we'll move on. Under special reports, we have the annual public reporting provided to us by the Deputy Director of Finance. And two recommendations that we receive it and approve the draft financial statement.
Move receipt.
Statement of financial information.
Move receipt.
Second.
On receipt then, all those in favor? Motion is carried. Any questions?
Oh, sorry.
Any questions on the statement of financial information? Okay, and motion approval.
Yeah.
Second.
On approval then, all those in favor? Motion is carried. Alrighty, so that's that part. And bylaws. We have for adoption the Parks and Recs bylaw amendment.
Move that.
Second.
And just to refresh, that's for the special program.
Yeah, the disability issues and health and wellness to support people that are outside of the town.
Right. Thank you. Any questions on that? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion's carried. And then, under new business, we get to the application for 90 Filbert Road, and staff are recommending that it be issued subject to the conditions listed in the report.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
All right, so this is an opportunity for council to ask any questions of staff, if there are any. And that's what we're looking forward to that. Go ahead, Councilor.
From what I've read, that there has been no concerns from neighbors. Has that changed at all? Everybody's happy with the proposed development?
We have received a letter of objection.
I think we saw one letter of support.
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
yeah.
All right.
It was pretty simple to me, pretty.
Yep.
All right, so no further questions. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion is carried. The application is approved, sir. All right, no other correspondence, lay-ins, or delegations, so we'll move to reports from members of the council. We'll start with Council Mark Grants.
Hate going first.
My first communication I had with the community is with attending the Town Residents Association, the water forum. It was very informative. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was well attended. People were very, very interested in where our water is and going. Also attended the town open house. That was well done. And folks I talked to during the open house and after said just exactly that. It was well done and well received. Visited another meeting in Shakeside, and you'll be hearing all about that and the detail coming up. And also seniors. Big on their agenda is their kitchen renovation plans and their 40th anniversary, which I'm sure you've all probably received a note. And that's me, thank you.
Okay, Councilor Kendra.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the Committee of the Whole meeting, the Sports Commission meeting, and the 3L's legal decision that came up, and then Barbara will do water and sewer. We're going to give her a little break. All the hard work. So at our Committee of the Whole meeting at the Regional District yesterday, we had the presentation from North Island College that most of you have already heard. Breathe Clean Air Comox Valley people came and gave a presentation, and they're looking to establish a an air quality advisory committee, and I've got that presentation if anyone wants to see it. The transit report came and talked about routing of buses and some of the issues that go around that. I've got that with me as well, so you're welcome to read through that. And they are looking at how they can get some smaller buses on certain routes and just addressing some of the concerns that we have, so we did that. The Island Corridor Foundation was also there. So they gave us the whole history of the Island Corridor Foundation, right from how they got the land for $1 all the way through to some of the issues that they're having with funding. One of the issues they have is that $7.5 million is supposed to be coming from the federal government. Of course, we changed governments, never got signed. There was a land claim in the middle of that, so now they've kind of put it on hold while that comes. They're very confident that that's still going to come through. Then there was the RD of Nanaimo pulling out, which we had an agreement that it was all in. If everybody wasn't in, that nobody was in. That was kind of the way the agreement went. So once they get the federal money back in play, they will come back and ask us if we still want to participate or what we want to do. There's some very interesting tourism opportunities and freight opportunities there. Something I didn't know was that they park the train right beside where the cruise ship comes in. So the cruise ships are coming in, and there's a train right there, so they're able to run that. There's also a great opportunity for trailways up and down, and a lot of the First Nations are looking at putting in little campsites and rest areas and things along the route, so you could walk, ride, bike, however you wanted to do it up and down that route and catch the train for parts of it. So there's an amazing opportunity there if they can make it happen. So that was an interesting presentation. We had Regional Growth Strategy Implementation Agreement, and that's a long-winded way of saying it's a opportunity for all of the local governments to get together on multi-jurisdictional issues to apply for grant money. So, for example, the multi-use path that they talk about down Dyke Road would be one that, rather than having everybody doing their own thing, you could get together and do one thing. So that's happening. Appointments of external entities regarding conflict of interest thing. You can now sit on external boards again, but you must be appointed. So that doesn't really affect us at this table too much because we're always appointed, but if you're, say, an area director, it was kind of a given that you just went, whereas now the regional board will actually have to appoint that director. So, but at least it lets us get back to doing that. Sports Commission, we had the age-old ice allocation issue came up again. You're familiar with that one. It's the issue that'll never go away, and there's no real good solution, but they do the best they can, and so we dealt with that. The pickleballers came, made a presentation to the regional district. So that was met quite well, actually. I think everybody was quite in agreement with what they were trying to do, and they saw it more as a regional kind of thing. And the City of Courtenay guys were actually trying to find a site for it and thinking that way. So I think that was a positive thing. Then we had the 3Ls legal decision. So I don't know how much of this you guys have followed or not, but the upshot of this is with the regional growth strategy, you can, if you want to amend it, there's a minor or a standard amendment that you can have. The courts have upheld that for us to do this, you have to get a technical advisory committee, a regional growth committee together. They have to then make a recommendation whether they think it should be a minor or a standard agreement. It comes back to the regional board where we then decide whether it's a standard or a minor agreement. But at that point we can say, no, we don't even want to deal with it. So we have to go through those initial steps in order to, and it's largely the way that our regional growth strategy is worded that causes this. So there's 9 other regional growth strategies out there in the province, and none of them do it this way. So we now have sort of the template to be able to change that so that we can actually get a little more sensibility into this whole piece. And so we'll be looking at doing that. There's some interim steps that we can take as we go through that. But I know that's a really confusing, and it sounds like a backwards piece, but it's really. In most cases, what would happen is, if it was something that affected the town of Comox, they would come to us, then we would take that to the region. That's what the other 9 do. What we do is any individual can walk in and say, hey, I want to amend this. And then the costs get apportioned out to the regional district to run all these programs to get it through. So the idea is that if it's an absolute no-go right from the start, we should be able to say, no, the court said, no, you have to go through this other process. And then you have the decision to make. So that's what we did. I think that pretty much it. Yeah. So that's it. That's my report.
Thank you for that. Councilor Rapp.
I was thinking there.
Yes.
All right, well, I too attended the CTRA water forum that they had, the town planning open house. And a couple weeks ago, we all received in our town correspondence a letter from the Community Justice Center. So assuming that you've all read it and understood it.
It was only
Maybe just go over that very quickly.
Yeah. So anyway, the Community Justice Center, they signed that protocol back in May 2009, and they're looking for a renewed endorsement, and they're looking for around end of August, September to have a witnessing ceremony. They're trying to get the City of Courtenay to sign in on it, and a few little changes in there, so they are looking for our signatory to it as well. They will be coming around making a presentation. I asked them to do that, and they'll be coming to us and Courtenay Regional District as well, because the Regional District doesn't sit on that committee. And they have invited the Prime Minister, whether or not he comes, but the invitation is out there for the witnessing ceremony. So you may want to go back a couple weeks and look at the correspondence, just to see what's up with that.
So when that comes to our council, perhaps staff can put that on there as agenda item we can look at again.
Yeah. And I've asked them to contact town staff to appear as a delegation. I'm not sure when. I was hoping they'd do it sooner than later.
All right, great. Okay, that's your report.
Yes.
Councillor McKenna.
Yes, I too attended the Comox Valley Water Forum, and in the spirit of promoting public engagement, I'm wondering if a card of thanks might be in order to send to the Comox Residents Association for hosting that event. And for consideration of council, your worship, I'll follow your direction on that. Secondly, attended at the Comox Golf Club, a fundraiser for Fort Mac, put on by the Comox Valley Big Band. Did some student grad interviews at GP Vanier along with our mayor. Town of Comox Public Works Projects Open House attended, well attended there, and good feedback as was suggested earlier. Attended a freshwater fisheries public meeting held at the Comox Legion on May 10th. And I was there really in my role as rep for the Maple Lake Committee, connections there, and nice that it was hosted here in Comox. Thought it was important that we had some representation. I attended a Comox Valley Homeless Coalition meeting on May 12th. May 15th, Comox Valley Walk for MS at the Courtney Airport. And yesterday at the Comox BIA meeting, there was several things that I'll just mention quickly. First of all, there was best wishes given to some new businesses here, which I think most of you are aware of that have opened in town of Comox. The bakery here on Comox Avenue, the new coffee shop just down past Anderton and Comox Avenue, and the positive news and expectations about the mall and the change of ownership there. As well, there was an announcement that on the festival weekend in August, a shuttle is going to operate for the first time between Courtney and Comox, so bringing in residents there. I understand that it's going to pick up residents at the old Canadian Tire site, at least that's the plan, and that's exciting. I think that we're hoping that's going to be helpful for that. And just a heads up, at the BIA meeting, a member of the Legion was there, and they're going to be asking to come to speak to council about their plans for their property, and we're all interested in what may happen there as well. Finally, I'm going to promote a couple of events that are happening here in Comox, and that's put on by the Comox Valley Multicultural Society. On this Thursday at the Bamboo Inn, they're hosting an event, a dinner event, with a couple of notable chefs there preparing dishes, and also on Friday from 5:30 to 8 at the Comox First Nations band, the band hall, for having an event on Friday. So invitation, offers to council members or anyone in the public to attend and support that. That concludes my report.
Thank you. All right, yeah, I'll be attending the dinner tomorrow night. So I think it's the chef from the Four Seasons in Taipei.
That's right.
All right, Councillor Price.
Yes, so I was also at the Regional District Sports Commission and Regional District POW, and also at the Sewage Commission and Water Committee. At the Sewage Commission, we did have a presentation of the Master Sewer Plan, which we all sort of knew parts of, but it was very good to have the overview. And it talks to the 6 proposed or 6 possible routings, all of which has the number 2 pump station as part of that network. So I brought this along if anybody would like to look at it. It does speak to the line that's in the estuary, the part that we are still proposing to be, to keep it in working. And it just this was completed in 2011, but it does say that deferral of a portion of the new force main construction costs. So the section of force main between the Courtney pump station and the new Dock Little Comox number 2 pump station could remain in service for up to 25 years. So it did envisage that line would...
I asked Richard to make a copy of that for everybody too. So
Great.
Yeah, it's interesting. I met with a resident the other day, and he was assuring me they only had 10 years of life left. And I said, no, I think it's a lot longer than that. So, anyway.
Well,
It's good to have that information.
yes, it's, so, that, that was a.
Yeah, that'll go in circulation.
We also had an update on the proposed number 2 pump station, looking at it on the Beach Street site. It is proposed to be a bit of a larger footprint there because there will be a wet and a dry chamber to it. When it was proposed to go at the bottom of Croto Road, the tightness of the site dictated that there could only be a wet well, a wet and a dry well. So it's potentially going to be 1,800 square feet. And there was some, although there's been no design done, and there is still a hope that we can work with the community for community feedback. There were different diagrams of what other communities have done, including grass roofs and barn structures, house structures. And it also, as part of that update, it was set that the 9th of June will be when the open house for number 2 pump station at the regional district boardroom. I think it's 5 till 8 o'clock. And there will be various stations and lots of staff there so that people can ask questions and get an idea of what's proposed. And I think that was, yes, there was a whole series of questions that were presented from the community via the electoral area director in response. They had wished to come and be a delegation to ask questions, but it was felt that it's very difficult to have somebody come and ask a series of questions, and there's better ways. So there will be question and answer fact sheets put up on the website looking at the questions asked. The Water Committee, we had a presentation from the representation from Opus Dayton Knight, the consultant, on the water treatment options. And they're going to rank the options and come up with numbers, and then will be presented back to us. So it's getting to that stage now where we can actually start to have some concrete ideas of what we can do and how we're going to do it and what it's going to cost us. There was a report on the Water Governance Forum when all the water bodies, water purveyors in the Comox Valley got together, and several people from this table, I think, were there too. And yeah, it was an interesting report back. It was the whole gamut from our big water system down to the small Fanny Bay and their different challenges. And we did decide that we would, there was some suggestion of having another forum, but it was that we will come back in October and see if there is any need for it. People certainly appreciated being able to get together and at least discuss their differences. And I think that was it.
Well, the only thing I would add to that is that there was a communication strategy laid out for both water and sewer, so hopefully that will start unfolding here soon, and it'll take some of the murkiness out of these for
Some of the turbidity.
some of the turbid water away, so that people can actually get an understanding of what we're actually doing.
I like the water forum as well. It was good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and so it's, yeah, clearer everyone is, at least we're all on the same page.
So clear you can drink.
So clear you can drink.
But not from the pump station.
And I also attended the town's open house on our future capital project, which was seemed to be very well received. And I met with some neighbours, with I think a couple of other, two or three other councillors did, about the proposed application on Calgary Road.
Great. Okay. Councillor Swift.
Okay. Well, I'll be brief because I think most of it's already been said, but I did attend the water forum and found it really interesting and informative, so that was great. Pictures are worth 1,000 words for sure. And then on behalf of the mayor, I attended the A.J. Taylor St. John Ambulance Awards, and where I was once again impressed with the dedication and knowledge of these young people that come together, and they're developing great lifelong skills and seem to be having some fun at it too. So that was fun. The MacLine meeting, where we reviewed the report, which will be coming to council in the near future, and the committee's going to be looking for some direction from us. The sewer meeting, and I would just encourage people to attend that sewer open house on June 9th, because I know the staff is going to a lot of work, and they'd like to get the message out. So if you can, please do attend it. And then our open house, which I thought was great, and saw lots of staff talking with lots of people at the public, and that's a really good format for people to be able to interact individually. So, and that's my report.
Okay, great, thanks. Yes, so I attended the water forum, as mentioned, the Vanier grad interviews, the project's open house. We had a board meeting of the Island Coastal Economic Trust, and there was a legislative review report that was submitted, and I think that's now been circulated to the members of council for those who are interested. Also, at 19 Wing Comox, attended the change of appointment ceremony for the 19 Wing Air Maintenance Squadron. The honorary colonel, John Reynes, has been honorary colonel for 4 years, and his time is up there, so he gave way to new honorary colonal Dave Brown. So it was nice to see John, and he's doing well, and asked to pass on his regards. I attended the Immigrant Welcome Center's blanket exercise, which was held last Saturday afternoon at the Native Sons Hall in the lower level there. And it's a very interesting experience if you ever get a chance. It's put on by a group called Kairos, an ecumenical group. And it's all around the truth and reconciliation efforts and education around where First Nations have been over the years. And the power of this exercise is both verbal and at least visual, because they lay out a bunch of First Nations blankets on the floor, covering the floor, and then you're asked as participants to, beginning, to step on a blanket, and you have little cards. And basically, if you have a card like mine that said D on it, you were considered dead right away because that blanket had smallpox on it. So, and as time goes on and various events and activities happen, there's very few people standing on blankets which are rolled up into tiny squares. That being said, there's hope and optimism at the end of it, because as things have developed and reconciliation occurs, the blankets start to open up again. So quite powerful. A lot of people were affected quite emotionally by it, and it was certainly a good exercise. So if you ever had the opportunity to participate, I know they will be running these in the communities across Canada over the next little while, and part of that Truth and Reconciliation report to get better education. As Justice Murray Sinclair, the education system may have at one point been the problem, but is now the solution. So that was a good thing to go through and spend a few hours on a Saturday afternoon. I attended briefly the Mayor's Golf Tournament Committee meeting that was held this week. And just to let everyone know, that's happening Friday, September 9th at Crana. And also, in addition to some of the donations that they'll be making to honor the commitments to Larch and the North Island College, they're going to be setting aside, we hope anyway, some for the water park. So that follows upon the presentation we had at Rotary the other day from Comox Rotary, and they're moving forward with all the Rotary clubs and community organizations, and they also have secured a contribution from young professionals as well. So that's coming together for hopefully 2017. And the CAO is actually going to look at some details on the Canada 150 grant money. That's a new intake for that coming up here in the next month. And they do actually specifically refer to water and splash parks. So we'll see if we can put an application in for that as well. And then this afternoon, I participated in a teleconference with regards to the RCMP Contract Management Committee. And a lot of information at the national level coming down on costs and various issues with the contract. But I think what's of most note is that the auxiliary program has been discussed now at the national committee level. And both Alberta and BC have been very strong in their views on that program, maintaining its integrity, and even to the point of perhaps reinstating ride-alongs. So we'll see where that goes, but it seems like there's been a bit of a change in tone. And I know that the questionnaire that went around is also going to be reviewed. So As that develops, we'll hopefully get some positive word on that. And we did let Mr. Langell know about some of those things. And of course, UBCM will have a discussion around the issue, I'm sure, by September. So perhaps things will evolve even to that point. And I believe that is my report. So, any media questions? Okay. Not even for the rookie.
Spencer, you're not a rookie.
Any questions from members of the public? Seeing none? All right, so a motion to adjourn would be in order.
Move.
All those in favor? Meeting adjourned.